For 6D, we're going to implicitly differentiate this expression. So I'm going to first differentiate the left side, and I'm going to work outside in using chain rule. And whenever I differentiate y, I need to add on a y prime, or dy by dx. So differentiating this, I get cosine x squared plus y squared. So I differentiate the outside. I need to attach a chain on here. So differentiating the inside, I get 2x. I differentiate y normally, but because I differentiated y, I have to add on a dy by dx. Okay, so I'm just going to write that as y prime. So there's my left side of the equation. Differentiating the right side, I'm going to get negative sine. I don't touch the inside, but when I differentiate the inside, I have to use product rule. So I differentiate x to 1 times y plus, I don't differentiate x, and I differentiate y to generate dy by dx, which I'm going to write as y prime. So then I've differentiated this. Now it's implicitly differentiated, so I have my derivative embedded in there. What's implied is we want to usually solve for the y prime, so we have an expression for y prime. Although that said, if we need to find a slope, we can just plug in x and y's and then isolate the y prime after as well, whatever might be easier. So I'm going to first of all expand out this bracket and grouping my y prime. So I get 2y cosine of x squared plus y squared times y prime. Okay, I'm going to expand out the right hand side as well and move it to this side. So I'm going to get plus because of the negative sine xy. Okay, because of that negative, I'm going to put it plus on that side. Okay, so I'm working on the right hand side right now. And then I'm going to end up with x sine xy. And then there's my y prime that I'm going to attach to the very end of that. Okay, so on the right hand side, I'm going to end up with this negative sine, I should put the y in front. I'm going to multiply out these brackets, and I'm going to end up with negative y sine xy. Okay, so that's when I multiply that together. And on the right hand side here, I have to account for this piece here. Okay, so I'm going to end up with minus 2x cosine of x squared plus y squared. Okay, factoring out the y prime, I get y prime, and then it's 2y cosine x squared plus y squared plus x sine x times y. That's all going to end up in the denominator. And on the right hand side, I'm just going to have this negative y. I could factor out the negative, but I'm just going to leave it as negative on both terms. Okay, so I haven't touched the right hand side. So the last step then is to solve for y prime. So solving for y prime, I have my numerator is on the right hand side. The expression I have on the right hand side here. Again, just making sure I keep track of all my terms in there. And then I'm going to divide by the coefficient here. So it's going to be 2y cosine of x squared plus y squared plus x sine of x times y. Okay, make liberal use of brackets to make sure you keep things grouped together. Okay, there's a lot of terms in here that we have to keep track of, so it's important to use extra steps if you need it. So I have compressed some steps here, but if there's some steps that you weren't sure about, you should really use an extra step to do that.